Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. How many times have you heard a news story or read in the paper, our kids are so behind when it comes to learning because of the coronavirus and what happened in the pandemic? And, not every single family can afford tutoring to bring their kids up to speed if they haven't gotten there already. But you know what? When Lyric was in second and third grade, our school that he was attending at the time used something called boom cards. They make learning fun. And let me tell you, he's still on grade level right now. Please welcome to the show, Mary Oemig, the co-founder and president of Boom Learning. Hi, Mary. How you doing?
Oh, great. Good morning. Well, for me, for you, it's afternoon, but it's great to talk to you.
Thank you so much for being here again, Mary. I kind of wanted to find out how you and your husband came up with the Boom Learning system. When and where did that happen?
Oh, wow. So I actually had started my career thinking I was going to be an educator and had gotten halfway through my master's program when I looked back and I had taken this class in college from an intellectual property instructor. And I was just really excited to do that. So I actually switched what I was going to do and headed off to law school. And I practiced law for almost 15 years, doing intellectual property with companies in Silicon Valley and then in Seattle, all about user-generated content and secondary liability, copyright, privacy, all that stuff. And then I had little kids. And of course, once you have kids, education like resurfaces as a top priority. And my oldest was very asynchronous in his development. He's one of those kids that they use the phrase kind of twice exceptional for.
Okay.
He could sit there and explain the invention of the automatic coupler to his eye doctor at 3 in adult terms, but ask him to like draw a triangle or a square, kind of things you expect of a kid that age.
Right.
It was not happening at all. So I was like, oh, you're going to be a challenge. So I started digging back into all of what I had learned back in that master's program because I had studied cognitive science of learning and really kind of started refreshing all those skills. Got a certification in Montessori education for 3 to 6 year olds and actually created a learning co-op for kids like my son. And when I went inside that learning co-op and we were trying to teach, I came from tech. I'm used to tech solving problems.
Right.
And there was no technology to solve the problem of figuring out where individual kids were who were so variable. And he wasn't the only kid in that classroom. We had, a child who is got a band now and, is a music prodigy who was also in there, so we have had kids who are just so variable in their development and their focus. And so you really needed to drill down on where are you on this topic, this thing I need you to learn, because it was so changeable from subject to subject. So I was just beating my head against a wall with the tools that were available. And I'd come home to my husband and complain. And I'd be like, there's just no good tool to solve this problem. I really need better tools. At that time, I was really relying on Easy CBM, which was created by the University in Oregon. And so we talked about what you needed and what we had. And he had always had in the back of his mind that he wanted to create something for education. So as our conversations continued, we started to sketch out what we would build. And then that's 2012. You would think, oh, it's easy. You just build it. But it's not so easy because then I spent about 2 years talking to teachers and saying,
Which
what
is
works?
good research.
Yeah, what works, what doesn't work, what problems are you running into? And out of that involved kind of the real engine behind we built, because anyone can build, frankly, a tool that lets you deliver a lessons electronically. Lots
Sure.
of people have done that. They let the teacher control the pacing or not control the pacing, basic quiz cards, flashcards. What we did different was we embedded the kind of best reporting you can think of based on response to intervention tools, which should be available to every teacher at every level, not just children with special needs, because every child is an individual.
Right.
Every child's unique.
Yeah.
And response to intervention kind of measurements allow a teacher to see at a glance, where is this child on their unique journey?
So now that it's been around for a while, what grades do boom cards go up through?
you can use them at any grade level. So in the general classroom, we see a lot of teachers choosing to use us in primary through elementary, but we have
Yes.
language teachers at all ages who love us for teaching French, for teaching Spanish, Japanese. There's a variety of materials on our site for teaching languages. It's great for that. Um, we see social studies at all levels on our platform, and we have math materials at all levels, all the way up.
I
And
have to tell you, my son used it in second and third grade during lockdown.
yeah,
And one thing that we loved about Boom Cards is it was fun. And when you make learning fun,
yes,
then it's easy to learn. And I know that you had that thought behind, I'm sure you and your husband were
absolutely.
like, we have a 6-year-old here. We need to make it fun, right?
Well, and that oldest child I talked about, he's still a gamer. He's always been a gamer. So, you know, this generation, they're gamers. They're attracted to gaming devices. And so the trick is, how do you make it compelling and engaging? Um, uh, but not overly addictive, like, because we don't want to encourage bad behaviors. But then at the same time, like, if they have to choose their homework, we want them to sit down and say, I'm going to choose this over, just walking away from my homework and sneaking a game when I'm not supposed to be sneaking a game. So it's really about, how do you keep them engaged? And part of that is appeal to this generation. They're used to multi-experiential materials. So someone who creates on our platform, because we're really the platform, we're the tool. Anyone can create on our platform. You can create for homeschool, you can create for your own school, you can create for the public. And with our platform, you can embed sound supports. So you can have audio for those people who aren't reading yet or who have a reading disability. Because you don't want your ability to read to interfere with your ability to learn math. Um, and likewise, we have some tools so you can actually make your materials uh, compatible with assistive devices that use tab navigation. So we've built in alt text fields so you can make your materials compatible with screen readers. On top of all that, we've got these multi-sensory experiences. So you can drag and drop. You can do traditional fill-in. You can do multi-select, and we've just added ink, so you can draw your answer or hand draw your answer. And we've added for students, particularly who are practicing languages, the ability to record themselves and listen back to themselves.
Wow, that seems amazing. Sitting with me today, Mary Oemig, the co-founder and CEO of Boom Learning. When we get back, we're going to go a little bit deeper into, like, how can families take access of all of this great information right there at a click of a button? Stay with me.
Hi, I'm Lear Gilmars. Thanks to our friends at
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, Mary Oemig. She's the co-founder and president of Boom Learning. Most of us know it as Boom Cards through school. And Mary, we were just talking about all the different layers that, kids and parents can take advantage of. Is this only available to teachers and school systems? I mean, if I'm a family, where Lyric was struggling a little bit in the
Yes.
fourth grade, is there a way that a family can go on and use this as an additional, I don't want to say a tutoring piece, but tutors are very expensive. And I noticed on your website, Boom Cards is very affordable. Can families take advantage of this?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's a couple different ways families might enjoy using Boom Cards. One is just go open an account yourself. We have a free starter account just for families. It'll allow you
Woo!
to serve up to 5 members of your family. It might be, your kids. It might be your kids and grandpa. If grandpa, is wanting to keep his memory fresh, or maybe he's had a stroke and he's working with a speech pathologist and you're
Therapist,
trying to
yes.
support him at home. So, up to 5 people in your family can interact with it with that platform, and you get the reporting with that. And you can make your own
Yes.
materials. So if you have a kid who is obsessed with something really archaic and unusual, you can create some materials to support them building skills off of that, like math or reading
Awesome.
comprehension. But you also have access to our full library. So you can go into our store, research what suits you, and pick what you want. We're actually working on a product for schools that will be a subset of our library. They'll have a subscription to everything, but parents get to choose anything in our store. So if you are a secular homeschooler, you can choose appropriate materials there. But if you're coming from a religious perspective, we also have materials on religious studies for families who want to incorporate that into their program. There's materials.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. We really believe, this is a platform to help you meet your goals.
And can you do that? Can you separate it, let's say, for instance, regionally too? Like, say, for instance, you're doing a report on the Southeast or the Northeast. You can kind of figure out.
Yeah, you just go search for what you want to do. So let's say you're in Texas and you're trying to help your kid with a text standard. You can actually search on TEKS and the standard your kid is working on, or you can just add TEKS to your search and it'll show Texas standard aligned materials. So if your kid is struggling with second grade math and you're in Texas, you can do that search. We have some great authors who are specifically creating materials for Virginia history. So there's so many options there. And if you can't find what you want, you just reach out to us through our help desk or our Facebook group and say, I'm looking for blank. Does anyone have anything? And a lot of our publishers there, and they'll see if you're asking, they'll be like, I can make something for you.
That's so cool. And now I have to ask you this, because I heard that teachers who are using boom cards, they can get paid. What is that all about?
Yes.
I mean, like, teachers are going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are a teacher who is, most of you make your own curriculum, right? So
Right.
This is just a platform to make your own curriculum. If you've been making your curriculum in Google Slides or PowerPoint, we actually have a whole video on how to very quickly turn those into boom cards and then add our interactivity, and then you get advantage of our powerful reports. So teachers can see that at a glance. Is the student, because our reports let you see at a glance, is a student guessing? And that looks like they're answering really fast, but a lot of it's wrong and some of it's right, and it's not consistent over time. Are they, really close to mastering it? They might be a little slow, but they're getting everything right. Or they've nailed it. They're doing it fast and everything's right. And that helps you know, hey, this kid is ready for more, or this kid needs more of this, or I need to revisit how I taught him because something didn't stick. So having those reports available, even a parent can watch one of our videos about how to use our reports and understand where their child is.
So do you notice that a lot of school systems then go ahead and purchase a subscription so that their teachers on all different levels? I mean, I know that I live here in Cobb County, Georgia, and I know Cobb County schools were using them big time. Boom cards was huge during the second and third grade for my son because we were on lockdown and teachers were really having to come up with a new way of teaching. They had never done it before. And here this system has been around since like 2016, and it's like light bulb ready to go off, and really it made learning fun.
And it makes learning fun in the classroom. We have some great teachers who've been with us for a long time. And again, a lot of these guys also make their own curriculum, and they specific for their classroom experience. One of my favorites is I Heart Fourth Grade. And he also teaches in the classroom. And so she's made these really rich upper elementary math experiences. And she has structured them in such a way that she can look at her results real time. She walks around her classroom with her phone, showing the reports. And so she's looking for reds. She's looking for trends of red popping up. And then
like, Tracy, you're going too fast. Slow down, Tracy.
And so she'll just kind of go scoop up those kids who are showing a lot of red and pull them over and reteach them right that moment, which is just so great. You're not waiting a week to get back a parent graded math sheet to go, oh, wow, this kid didn't understand anything I taught them. Now I got to go back and reteach them something that we've moved on from that was fundamental for what we're doing now. So it's really important to be able to see stuff quickly. And we self-grade, immediate feedback for the kid too. Like, you can teach your kid, look, if you're getting a lot of whoopses, And oh my gosh, sometimes they trigger whoops because it's a great sound and they love it. So there is that.
Of course, because they are still kids.
They are still kids. But if you're getting a lot of whoops, then you should just pop over and talk to your teacher or ask to talk to your tutor or ask to talk to your therapist or whoever is working with you on it and say, hey, I need more help. And I want to circle back to what we said about, how parents can use it. They can buy themselves. They can also collaborate with their classroom teacher or their student's therapist. So if that therapist or classroom teacher is using boom cards, you can say, hey, can you share my student with me to my account? And once they do that, the parent can see what's happening in these other
in the
settings.
classroom.
Yeah, and then it becomes a collaborative experience.
Which it takes a village, as we know. Sitting with me today, Mary Oemig, the co-founder and CEO over at Boom Learning. When we get back, we're going to find out where we can find them, where they are on socials, and how much it costs. Stay with me.
I'm Lear Gillenwaters. Thanks for checking out this episode of Life with the Spectrum. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll always see the newest episodes when they come out.
Thank you again for being here with Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, the wonderful Mary Oemig. I love the platform of Boom Learning. You're the founder, co-founder, and president. Where can people find you? How much does it cost? Do you have social media? These are all the questions that I know viewers are going ping, 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 ping.
Absolutely. I'm going to invite you. I'm going to encourage you to start, if you don't know us already, at www.boomlearning.com. There we have pages that introduce you to the product and help you get to know us. Now, if you already know us and you just want to dive right in, go straight to our app. That's at wow.boomlearning.com. W-O-W, wow.boomlearning.com, and you can dive right in.
And I like that, Mary, because then you can put it on your phone. And if you're in the grocery store and you've got a young one with you, boom, give them the wow.Birmingham. I love this.
Yeah. Oh, and for your phone, we've got an app. For your tablet, we've got an app. We've got Apple apps. We've got Kindle apps. We've got Android apps. We've got the app for you. So, grab an app, pre-populate it with some stuff just like that for the store, for waiting in the doctor's office, for concepts your kid is working on. So once you've got the app or if you created an account, then you go to our store and you pick out some materials. Start with some free stuff. There's some free items out there. And then you can start to go, okay, now I really like this author. I like their style. I understand what they're trying to do. And then you can go look at their more detailed stuff for what you're trying to teach, learn, or practice. So that's kind of where you get it. The price for the membership for a family is going to be free. For teachers, it's a little bit more because you need more students. And serving the student data is really our real cost. Now, boom cards themselves come in a range of prices. They come from free all the way up to, if you're buying an entire curriculum for a grade, it might be $100 to even $500.
But that's so reasonable.
But yes, it's a full curriculum. You use it with all your kids. So Della Larson, I think, has an option to buy her entire store. So you have choice. And we have this special thing called Complete My Bundle. So if you buy from us a few of your items and then you're like, I really want all of them. I've decided to buy all of them. We give you credit for everything you've already purchased. So you might end up having that bundle cost $0 because you've bought enough qualifying components that the rest is free.
And I think we should add to this, Mary, that boom cards are consistently updated, right? As school systems change on how they teach math to core math or whatever, you constantly update your boom cards, correct?
Yeah, our authors keep their materials up to date. They keep them fresh. They correct if they make a mistake, and we're all human. You just push the little feedback button and they'll fix it for you. A lot of them create growing bundles, so their bundles keep adding materials, and if you bought their bundle, you get all the new stuff for no additional charge. So those are always great options. Now, where to find us on social? Instagram is our most popular social channel, so we're just at Boom Learning. If you're feeling like you want to be a bit more professional, we're on LinkedIn. We have recently moved to Threads. We had been on the other messaging app that has changed its name recently. And we've decided, since teachers have been more heavily invested in Instagram, we're expecting to see them on Threads. So we'll be moving to Threads. And of course, we have a wonderful YouTube channel where you can learn all about how to use the product, all sorts of detail there, all sorts of educational videos on YouTube. So I recommend you start with our YouTube channel and then come chat with us about what you learned over on Instagram or in Facebook.
Mary, I cannot thank you enough for being here. I know that boom cards certainly helped my son and all of his second and third grade class pass to the next level.
Wonderful. That's so great to hear.
Thank you so much for being with me today, Mary.
I've really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm telling you, these boom cards are where it's at. Lyric had so much fun with them in second and third grade. But something that caught my attention really was when Mary said, how older people are using boom cards, stroke victims, people having to relearn things, people who are wanting to learn a second language or a third language. There's French, Spanish, German, you name it. It is out there. Italian too, just like me. You can grab all of that through the Boom Learning system. And I did look at the prices for all of us. Like she mentioned, for families, it's free. And then from there, you just build the package and the price. And to know that it's really under $500 is making it more affordable. And thinking about a tutor at $50 an hour, it's like, oh, well, what do you do here? It's kind of a no-brainer, right? So check out Boom Learning. Find them on all those socials and their website as well. Thank you so much for checking into Life with the Spectrum. We are living this crazy journey called life, and it's so great to connect with people who want to make a difference and are making a difference, like Mary Oemig over at Boom Learning. Thanks again for checking into Life with the Spectrum. Till next time, we see ya.
Bye.